Hello, what's up guys? I'm Kyle from KGR, and last week I made a video talking about the Crash mobile leak, and I didn't know how to feel about the design when I made that video. And I didn't want my hot take to be my final opinion, so I sat on it for a while. And of course, I took a look on social media about communities of Crash and see how they feel about it, and it seems to be very split. A lot of people like it, a lot of people don't. So, where do I fall in the matter? To be honest, I'm kinda in the middle. There's some things I like and there's some things I don't. I think it can work, but I don't want it to be the future look for Crash. Okay, video done. Bye. I kid. We gotta get into more in depth because we gotta push this video to 10 minutes so I can get those ads. And plus, want to explain how I truly do feel about this. Okay, so if you don't know about this, so yeah, a Crash mobile game got leaked and Crash got an all new look, and people, at least in the Crash community, seem to be split about it. So if you don't know what's going on, I'll pull up some pictures. I'm mainly gonna reference two because it's mainly all we gotta see. The first picture we're gonna see is him with the thumbs up, and I'm not gonna lie, this looks bad. At least in this pose, it doesn't look good at all. But in this other picture where he has his tongue out, cross-eyed, and hands in the air like he just don't care, I think it looks kinda cute. But the whisker thing, again, I still don't like because of the fact that it reminds me too much of Mind Over Mutant and Crash of the Titans. That was a dark age for Crash, and that's what made him go vacant for almost 10 years. But for the most part, they stayed pretty close to how he looks in Insane Trilogy and changed the shoes. So it could work for a mobile game, but I don't want this to be the complete new look for how he looks in next gen. Because in Insane Trilogy, I think he looked absolutely wonderful, even with that engine, or whatever the engine was called, I don't remember. Point is, it wasn't Unreal Engine. I think it looked great. I liked the way the fur looked. I liked how it just looks like a revved up version of the original Crash from PS1. And I feel like if we go with this design with next generation, with PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, even if it is rendered in Unreal Engine 4 instead, I feel like it would be a step backward when it comes to design. Because number one, everybody is so used to the Insane Trilogy look, and that looks pretty close to the original Crash and people love it. But number two, we also got all the merchandise and we all got the apparel and all that stuff. Imagine changing Crash immediately like that, and then we gotta change all that too. I feel like a lot of people are gonna be split, not just the Crash community, but everybody else. I'm gonna bring up Sonic the Hedgehog a lot in this video. But with that said, I do love Sonic a lot. I mean, I have a whole entire shelf just dedicated to Sonic the Hedgehog figures. But I feel like Sonic's history makes a fantastic example on how all of this can work. So first up, let's compare this to, let's say, the action figure that I have on my desk right here. Like, for the most part, it looks like all furry and all that jazz. Like, this is Crash Bandicoot. Like, this is how everybody can identify him as. But let's say that this is on Nickelodeon, okay? Let's say this is Nickelodeon, and then this design is kind of like a Nick Jr. I don't think it's gonna replace, at least I hope it doesn't replace Crash, but I feel like they can coexist. Or, in my opinion, a better example, let's take all of Sonic, okay? Let's say Sonic the Hedgehog, the one we're all familiar with, the modern design. Let's say modern Sonic is like how Crash looks in Insane Trilogy. It's what we're used to. And then we got Sonic Boom with the extra spines and the scarf and the blue arms and all that jazz. It's an all new look, but it doesn't replace Sonic. I feel like as long as this design doesn't get into the main games, I think this can do fine. It works for a mobile game, and to be honest, if they made a show like on Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon or something and made this the design for Crash in the cartoon, I think it can work really well as well. I would be completely fine with this look in a cartoon. But main game has to stay the same. Like, for example, the movie. Like, the directors didn't think that the modern Sonic look would work well in a movie, and they're probably right. So they redesigned Sonic, failed, and redid it all over again. But the way that Sonic looks in a movie now works really well for how he looks in the movie. But the way that how he looks now in the movie works, and I feel like it looks good for the movie, but that's it. I feel like if they try to bring that look to the game, I don't think it's gonna work very well either. So I feel like this version of Crash can work in a mobile game and a cartoon, that's it. when it comes to next-gen Crash games, I feel like we gotta stick with the Insane Trilogy look. Maybe improve on it a tiny bit, like change a few things, like maybe his pants or maybe his shoes or something, but not drastically change it like this. We don't want Crash Bandicoot to have an identity crisis like Sonic did. We have so many iterations of Sonic right now. I don't think changing the design this drastic this quickly is a good idea. But if this just sticks with mobile, and again, maybe a cartoon, I doubt it's gonna happen, but if it did, this design could work. But as long as this stays with the mobile game and then the Insane Trilogy look just stays for next generation and it stays for the console look as that, I think it'll be okay. I think I'll be okay with it. But I want to know how you guys feel in the comments. Do you want this to be the new look for Crash? Do you think it should only stay to mobile? Do you think it just looks bad altogether? I want to know your guys' thoughts because I'm a huge Crash fan myself and I want to know like how the fan base really feels about this. I know Canadian Guy A really likes this design. Again, I think it works for a mobile game, but I feel like it's like a Nick Jr. version of Crash. I feel like it should be like one that caters more to kids, maybe. But even then, like I used to work at a video game store and I would have kids come in and be all super excited about Crash Bandicoot. So I feel like if that's what they're trying to do, they don't have to because they already have the Crash fan base back. Like I think it works just fine. But if they're just doing it just to have a simpler look for a mobile game, then I think it can work just fine. You know what, Activision? Do what Sega's doing. Do like little animated shorts of Crash Bandicoot and put it on YouTube every once in a while. And you can go with this look. I think it would work fine for a cartoon. But please, for the love of Jesus, don't go with that as a full design for an all-new Crash game. I honestly highly doubt they will. But we'll see what happens. Again, let me know in the comments what you think. And that's it for the video. So if you're new and you like what you saw, you know what to do. In the description, there's my Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram. So if you got any of that and you want to follow me on there, that'd be super great. And that's all I gotta say about this thing. I love you guys to death. And I guess I'll see you on the next one. So peace.